Hi everyone, hope you're all doing good. In this video, we are going to see about Class 7 Science Chapter 1 Nutrition in Plants Part 2. In last video, we had saw about nutrition, types of nutrition, importance of food, and two types of modes of nutrition, autotrophs and heterotrophs. And under autotrophs, we had discussed about photosynthesis, we had discussed about starch. And two more points I want to say now, that is, I left in the last video, that two more important point is that one is that in some plants, even though chlorophyll is there, leaf is not performing function. For example, plants like cactus, in that leaves are modified into spines. Why? To store the water. There, leaf is not performing photosynthesis. Who is performing? The fleshy stem performs the photosynthesis. Second important point, there are some decorative plants like croton which have red pigment, yellow pigment on their leaf. By seeing from outside, it seems like that they don't have chlorophyll and they are non-green plant. But the real thing is that the chlorophyll is hidden behind the pigment, and here also the leaves performs the function of photosynthesis. Further, we are going to learn about heterotrophs, different types of heterotrophic plants or mode of heterotrophs. That is, one is insectivorous plant, next parasitic, then we will see about saprophytic, next we will see about symbiosis, and the last topic of this chapter is how to replenish the soil. Okay, now we are going to see about heterotrophs, where hetero means others, trophs means nutrition. Plants which obtain nutrition from other sources are called as heterotrophs. In this, first we are going to learn about insectivorous plant. Insects we all know, orous means eating. That means the plants that feed on insect or the plants that eat insects are called as insectivorous plant. Have you ever noticed the insectivorous plant? They are also green. And you might be thinking they perform photosynthesis. Yes, they also perform photosynthesis. But why? Why they are eating insects? Because their roots does not absorb some essential nutrient required for the plant. For example, nitrogen, potassium, iron, and so on. So many minerals are there that are not absorbed by their root from the soil. So anyhow the plant need this nutrient, so they are eating the insects like shortcut. They are eating the insect and they are gaining the nutrient from that insect. Understand? Most of the insectivorous plants have attractive colors and they are in special designed shape only to attract the insect. You all know that beauty is always danger. These insects also don't know that they are getting trapped in that. Now let's see about picture plant. In the picture plant you can see a jug-like structure and a lid. And the lid is the apex of the plant. Apex means tip of the plant. And inside the jug-like structure there is hair-like things are there. That will trap the insect inside that. Once it is trapped inside, the lid will automatically close and they will secrete some enzymes that kill the animal and digest the animal inside that. Once that animal is utilized by the plant, they open the lid and they will be waiting for the other insects. This is the common principle in all the insectivorous plant, that is, attract the insect, trap the insect in the special structure, and poisonous enzyme is produced that kills the insect, and digestion of the insect will takes place in the special structure, whether it is jug like or whether it is door like structure, whatever it is. Okay, after digestion they will open and they will wait for the other insects. This is the common principle of all insectivorous plant. Next we are going to see about the parasitic mode of nutrition or parasitic nutrition. In this, one organism is completely dependent upon other living organism for food and shelter, and they cause harm to the organism, or sometimes they are not beneficial to the organism. The organism which completely depend upon other, that first organism is called as parasite, and that organism which is giving shelter and food and believing that other organism, that one is called as host. For example, cascata, it is a parasite. It is seen in a mango tree, and you can see that cascata, it is also called as amarvel. It is yellow color. It does not have chlorophyll, and it cannot prepare their food. But what this cascata is doing, taking all the nutrients, food, shelter, everything from the plant, and they are not doing any help. This mode of obtaining nutrition is called parasitic nutrition. Next, we are going to see about saprotrops. Sapro means rotten, trops means nutrition. Here, the living organism depends upon dead and decayed substance for food. For example, you can see the fungi growth on the bark of the tree during rainy season. Why? Because somewhere the bark is started decaying or it is about to rotten. That's why. This mode of obtaining nutrition are called as saprotrophic nutrition, and the plant that obtaining nutrition by this way, or you can see the fungi growth in the decaying layer. For example, in the spoiled food and in the bread and in the rotten vegetables, their saprophytic nutrition takes place. Symbiosis. Next we are going to see is symbiosis. Symbiosis means living together for long period of time. That means two living organisms, they are living together and they are helping each other. They are called as, that type of nutrition are called as symbiosis. That way of living is called as symbiosis. For example, in a plant called lichen, that is a type of algae, and in their roots fungi is present. What fungi is doing? Fungi is giving water and mineral to the algae, and algae in return gives nutrient and they are giving shelter to the fungi. Here both the organisms, they are helping each other mutually, so they are showing symbiosis. One more thing you should know, that lichen is the main material for making the litmus paper or litmus solution. What you are testing acid, that blue litmus turns red, in base red litmus turns blue. You are saying, you had learned in the previous class that litmus paper and litmus solution are made from this lichens. So in this we had saw about different types of nutrition in heterotrops itself. Now you compare with your friends which type of friend you are having. Okay, whether it is parasitic or saprophytic and symbiosis. Compare the concept along with your daily life. Next topic we are going to see is how to replenish the soil with nutrient. For example, continuously we are cultivating the plant, that soil nutrients will be lost. So how we will regain the nutrient of the soil? The nutrient of this soil can be replenished by adding fertilizers and manure, because they contain nitrogen, potassium and phosphorus, that is essential for the soil and for the growth of plants. Sometimes not mostly, the fertilizers are having chemical that can harm the soil. So in such cases farmers prefer for leguminous plant. What is leguminous plant? Pulses plant are also called as leguminous plant or leguminous pod. Example, chana plant, green peas, tur dal plant, all they are called as leguminous plant. What this plant is doing? They are having bacteria. Which bacteria? Rhizobium bacteria on their root nodules, and they fixes the nitrogen in the soil. Not 78 percentage nitrogen is there in the atmosphere, but it is not absorbed by the plants directly. It should be converted into simple form, then only the plant can absorb the nitrogen. So here the rhizobium bacteria performs this function by fixing the nitrogen soil. That way this soil get replenished in a eco-friendly manner. The rhizobium bacteria present on the root nodules of leguminous plants. That means rhizobium bacteria and leguminous plant both are together showing the symbiosis. Why? Because the rhizobium bacteria fixes the nitrogen for the plant, and in return leguminous plant they are giving food and shelter to the rhizobium bacteria. So this is also an example of symbiosis nutrition. The nutrient present in the pulses is protein. Important element is there in the protein. How in carbohydrate? How in carbohydrate? Carbon is the most important element. Even the hydrogen and oxygen are there. Like that, here the most important element in protein is nitrogen. Hope you understood what is heterotrophs and types of heterotrophs and how to replenish the nutrient in the soil. See you in the next video. Have a small recapitulation. Thank you.